For Christians, Holy Week is the most important time of the year. But this Holy Week, Christians across the world are the target of religious extremists. Across the Middle East, Africa, and Pakistan, Christians have been the target of terrorists and religious zealots. And let's just be clear here, Muslim terrorists. Most recently, the slaughter of at least 147 Christians at a university in Kenya. With us now, Dr. Jasser, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, and he is the author of the book, Battle for the Soul of Islam. He's also a former U.S. Navy lieutenant commander. Tell me, why is the world ignoring this slaughter of Christians?
Well, Jerry, I have to tell you, as a Muslim, as we wish our Christian and Jewish friends blessed Easter and Passover, you can't help but think it's because nobody wants to address the elephant in the room, which is that the persecution of Christians is because of radical Islam, is because our communities, our Muslim communities, are in denial. And in order to address it, you have to have a strategy against the global jihad. I mean, these countries in which they're being decimated and genocides are happening against Christians in Kenya, in Syria, in Iraq. The Jewish community has long been gone because of a similar process of pushing them out of these countries so that they can be pure Islamic countries and actually lose their soul of Christian history and Jewish history of the Middle East.
You know, I read that every church in Iraq became surrounded by a blast wall. They had to build blast walls around each and every one of them. I just don't understand, why don't you see more reporting on this? Because, you know, yes, we heard about this most recent example, but it's really something that's going on every day. If it's not people being beheaded or killed or maimed, they're being beaten up in the streets. Why? Because they're Christian.
And that's so true. And we have to get back to our roots as Americans, which is about religious liberty against theocracy. And Muslims are fighting this same battle today. These, the same ones that attacked, the Muslim radicals that attacked the Copts in Egypt just last week, that same town that had the horror of the beheadings of their families in Libya, saw another attack against trying to build a church in Egypt. Now what happened, moderate Muslims came to protect them and push the savages out. So there are solutions happening. We're just ignoring it.
But the population of Christians in the Middle East, I've read, I don't know how accurate this is, from 20% to 5%. It keeps going down, down, down. Ultimately, if Christians are driven out of the Middle East, where they've been for centuries, what will be the impact?
That's so important. I can't underscore that enough. If you want hope for liberty, for freedom, for democracy, you have to have a Middle East that's diverse. If that diversity leaves, so also does the soul of the Middle East and the chance for freedom, which is based in pluralism and diversity. Our president signed a bill for a special envoy on religious minorities to protect those minorities in August 2014. That position still has not been filled. It needs to be higher in the priority if we want a free Middle East and the Arab awakening not to get filled by radical Islam and more of the Sunni Shia sectarianism and dictators to continue to fuel these allies of ours, Jerry, like the Saudis, I don't even, maybe Iran's even an ally now. We see the treaty we are almost signing. They are fueling the radical ideologies throughout the Middle East that are fueling these militants.
We've just heard the president will be traveling to Kenya as expected, just a note there. But I have to ask you about Catholics and ISIS targeting Rome. They want to conquer Rome. What role does the Catholic Church play here?
Well, I think the Catholic Church can be very much important in reminding us about the fact that these Christians need to be protected, and also calling to task Muslim leaders. Imagine if the Pope reminded the imams every Friday on today's sermons to say that it is a Muslim's duty to protect Christian minorities, Jewish minorities, and others. And unfortunately, I think political correctness prevents that, but we've been hearing some good things from the Christian leaders, for example, in Egypt, from Pope Tadros and the Coptic Church, and I hope also the Catholic community will begin to hold us Muslims accountable for what's happening by the radicals being produced by the ideas within our communities.
Well, it's no surprise that this is happening during Holy Week, I suppose, but deeply concerning nonetheless. Zuhdi, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Very good to see you.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it.